Hello students, welcome to the new video. In today's session, we are going to study the topic transfer of heat. So, before starting the topic in detail, let us clear some of the concepts regarding the transfer of heat. Heat is the thermal energy that flows. Now the question arises, when does the transfer of heat takes place? Students, the transfer of heat takes place only when there is a difference in temperature between the two objects or the region. That is, one object is in higher temperature and other object is in lower temperature. So, when does the heat transfer takes place? The heat transfer takes place only when there is a difference in temperature. Difference in temperature. Now, what is the direction of heat flow? The heat flow is always taking place from a higher temperature to a lower temperature. That is, the heat flow takes place between two objects or region only when one is warmer than the other. Here we can compare this with the flow of water. You know that water always flow from a region of higher level to a lower level. In the same way, heat also flows from the higher temperature to a lower temperature. That is, from higher temperature to lower temperature. So, what is the direction of heat flow? The direction of heat flow is always from a higher temperature to a lower temperature. That is, the body, the object which is having higher temperature, from that the heat transfer to the object in the lower temperature. Now, another question arises. How long the heat flow continues? The heat flow will continue only till or until the heat of the temperature of all the objects are equal. That is, the heat flow continues until the temperature of the objects are equal. So, how long heat flow continues? Until they acquire equal temperature. So, how long heat flow continues, children? The heat flow continues until the objects acquire the equal temperature. Students, now let us understand these concepts more clearly using our day-to-day experience. Nowadays, it is very hot. We often take the glass of cold water and keep it on the table. Sometimes we take a bottle of cold water and keep it on the table. After some time, like half an hour or 1 hour, if you take that water and see, it has become hot. How does it happen? Let us understand with the help of a figure. Now, this is the glass of water. Here we have taken cold water. The surrounding air is hot. So, as per the things that you have already learned now, the surrounding air is warmer than the cold water inside the glass. So, in which direction the heat flow takes place? From air to water. And after some time, you can see that both water and surrounding air, when they actually acquire the equal temperature, the heat flow stops. That is why we can experience that the water has become hot. Now, what will happen if we take hot water in a glass and keep it on the table? So, here we have taken hot water and the surrounding air is cool. Here, what will be the direction of the heat flow? Again, water is hot, the higher temperature is there inside the glass. So, the transfer of heat will take place from glass to surrounding air. That is why in winter, if we keep a hot water or hot tea in a glass for some time, it becomes cool. That is, the transfer of heat takes place from higher temperature to lower temperature. And this also will continue till both the water in the glass and acquires the same temperature as the air outside. Now let's move to the next topic. How is heat transferred? Heat transfer takes place in three methods: conduction, convection and radiation. In today's session, we will study in detail about the conduction mode of heat transfer. So, what is conduction? Conduction is the mode of heat transfer taking place between two objects at different temperatures and they are in contact. Children, you know that matter is made up of molecules and molecules are in constant motion. Let's understand what happens when a solid substance is heated. Let us understand that with the help of a diagram. When a solid is heated, the molecules which are coming in contact with the flame acquires more energy. They start vibrating faster and go and collide with the neighboring molecules. This continues and a part of the energy is transferred to the other molecule. So these molecules are acquiring more energy. They start moving or vibrating faster. They go and collide with the other molecules and transfer the energy. And this will continue to the next molecules also. And this vibration or the transfer of energy will continue till all the molecules in the solid is acquiring the same heat energy. Based on this, we can redefine the conduction as the process in which heat is transferred from a region of higher temperature to a region of lower temperature through vibrating molecules. Here the molecules are not actually moving from one place to another. Now, can the conduction mode of heat transfer takes place in liquids and gases also? To understand this, we should remember the molecular arrangement in liquid and gas. In liquid and gases, the molecules are not in contact with each other. They are loosely packed. Therefore, the heat transfer cannot take place in liquids and gases by the conduction mode of heat transfer. Now, let's learn an experiment to see how the conduction takes place in a solid substance. For that, we need to take two blocks, arrange them vertically, fix one metal rod on it. It can be any metal, iron, aluminium or any other metal. Then take thumb pins which is metallic in nature. Fix that thumb pins on the road with the help of melted wax and fix it on the road. Now heat one end of the road with the help of a candle. When the candle is lighted, this end of the road gets heated up. Wait for few minutes. After few minutes, we can see that the nail, the pin which is fixed near to the candle flame starts falling down, and this will continue till one by one all the pins will fall down. And do you know why the pins fall down? We have taken the metallic pins and fixed it with the help of melted wax. When the wax is heated up, it melts. Then how does the wax get heated up here? When this end of the rod is heated, the molecules absorb heat energy, and that heat energy is transferred to the neighboring molecules. So this way the energy from molecule to molecule is transferred through the metallic rod, which melt the wax and bring down all the pins. This will continue till all the part of the rod is having the same temperature. This shows that the heat transfer in the metallic rod has taken place by the vibration of molecules. That is, in a solid, the heat transfer is taking place with the help of conduction. The last topic of today's session is good conductors and poor conductors. Under this topic, we will study whether all solid substances conduct heat in the same way or not. To understand this, let us perform a small activity. To do that, take a small pan and heat some water in it. Collect few articles like a ruler, a pencil, a divider and a spoon. Dip one end of each article in the hot water and wait for some time. After that, touch the other end of each article and check whether it is hot or not. Tabulate the observation in this way. We can see that the spoon, which is made up of metal, the other end becomes hot. In a ruler, which is made up of plastic, the other end does not become hot. In a divider, which is made up of metal, the other end has become hot, whereas a pencil which has got a outer wooden covering does not become hot in the other end. This shows that some materials conduct heat easily, whereas some materials do not conduct heat easily. Therefore, the materials which conduct heat easily are called as good conductors, whereas the materials which do not conduct heat easily are known as poor conductors. So, the definition of good conductor is the materials that allow the heat to pass through them easily. Examples are metals like copper, iron, aluminium, etc. Then what is the definition of bad conductor or poor conductor? The materials that do not allow heat to pass through them easily are known as poor conductors. Poor conductors of heat are also known as insulators. Examples are plastic, wood, glass, paper, etc. The examples of good conductors and poor conductors we can see in our kitchen also. Have you ever observed the cooking vessels like a cooker, frying pan, etc.? the body of that vessel is made of metal, whereas the handles are made up of either wood or plastics. Children, do you know why the body is made up of metal? Metal is a good conductor and conduct the heat easily so that the food get cooked easily. Whereas the handle is made up of plastic or wood so that we can lift them, we can handle them easily without burning our hand. So both good conductors and bad conductors are useful to us in our day-to-day life. Students, I hope that you have understood both the topics very clearly. Still, if you have any doubt in the concept or in the questions, you can write to me in the comment section. I will try to solve it as soon as possible. Here are some review questions. Please solve it in your notebook.